Hurricane Sandy was a major challenge here in Hoboken. The Hudson River came in on us from the south and from the north and filled up our city like a bathtub. 80% of the city was underwater, so our electrical substations were underwater, which meant the power was out in most of the city.
Several adult communities didn't have power, pharmacies didn't have power, fire and emergency services were challenged to dispatch correctly and take incoming calls for help. So it was a true dark age type environment in Hoboken during Hurricane Sandy and in the week or two following.
When you have 50,000 people in 1 mile and all hell breaks loose, it truly is a frightening situation. So it was scary.
My major concern was making sure that everyone was safe. It was really our public safety team, our CERT team, and a little bit of luck that kept everyone safe in Hoboken, and I'm extremely thankful for that. I am a firm proponent of sheltering in place. If people are prepared, they can shelter safely in their homes. And so we're trying to get people to personally be prepared, but also advocating for a microgrid, which could support our sheltering in place approach.
So a microgrid is a control system, it's an insurance policy in effect. So in the event of an outage, a microgrid will identify and balance all of the energy generation assets versus the critical loads. So in cities like Hoboken, some of the critical loads might be a police, a fire station, a hospital, and our control system acts to provide power then to those assets when the larger utility grid is down.
The electric system here is old. And in New Jersey, we have a great system, but over time, these systems are stressed because we have a lot of people. And so this microgrid is going to be able to do two things. It's designed to make this place more resilient, not just from storms, but from day-to-day energy peaks, from continued growth. It will give freedom to Hoboken to also have more alternatives when it comes to energy.
Hoboken enlisted Sandia National Labs to do a study. And that study effectively identified what were the critical assets in the city and then what happened during Superstorm Sandy.
We feel really lucky that the Department of Energy and Sandia National Labs worked with us. They came in and really did the analysis and helped us to design a microgrid. We're proposing about 55 buildings. That includes the hospital and supermarket and obviously our public safety facilities, our police department, our fire department.
The city will have the role in owning the microgrid, but it may very well be a private company that manages it.
It can't all happen with private sector dollars. It cannot all happen with the city of Hoboken saying we're going to bond for it. But if you can have some coming from the federal government, some coming from the state, some coming from the private sector, and you put it all together, you can make it happen.
It's been really exciting to see the energy from the citizens when they come out for public meetings and educational meetings to talk about the microgrid. And the city, their citizens, they've responded with just open arms.
Hoboken is, we're right across the river from New York City, and we're a community, it's 1 square mile. It's a very diverse community and a community that really, especially through Superstorm Sandy, really came together. We love our waterfront, it's the treasure of our city, but it also is a risk that we face. And so we are always looking for ways that we can be more resilient for the future, and having a microgrid is definitely an important part of that.